Okay, we should be nice, ready, and good to go. God, Granblue Fantasy, it's been a while. The 12th anniversary is coming out soon, and apparently we're getting Lisha content. Somehow, for some reason, she's going to get sworn in as the new Blue Knight after her father. I haven't done the last part of the main story quest. I hope it doesn't really completely revolve around it. But let's see what's going on in here. A lone man quietly walks through a battlefield where all the others lie motionless on the ground. War had come to this place when Australia, the Astral God, brought her armies to Estalucia during an invasion known as the Astral Reconquista. Reconquista that, by the way, lasted a grand total of like 15 minutes. Her defeat had caused the Astrals to lose all support from home, putting an end to their hopes of ruling the Sky Realm again. Is maybe a bit too loud? The man keeps walking. Though his steps are nonchalant, he takes care not to step on any bodies. Instead, he methodically examines each and every one of the silent corpses. He kneels down before one of them and touches its cold limbs. From its appearance, the body seems to belong to an astral. The man takes the crystal out of his pocket and presses it against the corpse. Are they not gone? The body suddenly dissolves into particles of light that flow into his crystal. The man then stands back up and resumes walking to the cold battlefield. He continues his search until there's not a single astral left among the bodies. So he's collecting them back. Any chance they can actually get resurrected? Oh, someone must be happy to have Catalina back.
ワーヌーングランデ空域か。まだ行ったことはないが、茶葉が有名なのか？
ええ、評判は聞いていたんですが、少量域がなくなったことで。
Okay, while we are here, I guess I've got to do a little bit of account maintenance because I haven't really touched the game in a while.
他にはアマトグランデ空域にも有名なお茶があるんですよ。サンドイッチと相性はいまいちですが。
But since it's anniversary time, we got Magnafest and everything, might be time to get back on the grind as well. The captain, Virn, Lyria and Catalina are visiting Albion on a particularly pleasant day. Having no pressing errands to attend to, they're spending their afternoon relaxing with Vera.
こうしてまたヴィラの作ったサンドイッチを食べられる日が来るとはな。
私は諦めた時などありませんでした。団長さんたちとお姉様ならきっと全てを解決して帰ってくる、そう固く信じていましたから。
あの時はオイラたち自身なんていうか無我夢中だったよな。
はい、どんなに小さな希望でもなんとか掴もうって必死で。
The crew members have only recently defeated the other world that threatened the sky and completed their long journey to Estalucia. Though they've achieved some degree of peace now, this series of events is still fresh in their minds.
アルビオンの騎士はいずれかの国に配属されるまで主をいただかない特殊な騎士ですが、騎士の本質、それはきっと主の有無にかかわらず何かを守るということ。大切なこの場所を
Also, there may be something going wrong with the cache side of the game because it hasn't really been loading icons
そうだな。
all that well.
私もカクリオとの戦いで ルリアを守り通すことができて。
ですが自らのことも決してないがしろにしてはいけません。ですよね、ルリアちゃん。
Hello, hey Andy, welcome. How are things going?
カタリナ、
Any bets on what the big rewards are going to be this event? I've only just started, I have no idea. I've read that apparently we're going to get like 12 rings, the ones that give higher stats. That's about it. If there's going to be any hint for what's going to come, it's likely going to be near the end of part 1.
お姉様。
Deer chimes in as if to dispel this slightly melancholy atmosphere.
そういや騎士って言っても主とずっと一緒ってやつは意外と少ねえよな。
Pretty well, just the gacha hating me lately. Oh, that's just RNG going back and forth a bit. Don't worry, you'll get back into its graces soon.
必然空に出ることはありませんから。
言われてみりゃ。でもそれなら必要な騎士はどうなんだ？アウライグランデにいるのは黄金の騎士だけだったよな。そもそもなんであいつら各空域に。おや、こちらにいらっしゃったんですね。
Speaking of the Luminary Knights, speaking of the Golden Knight especially, are we still married to her? What happens to our marriage? Because we had to in order to become the king of Istavion, but not sure that thing was annulled, or not sure that king can be annulled.
シェロさん、ヴィーラさん、シェロさんも呼んでいたんですか？
6% rate up lies, but yeah, trust roulette. I need to keep my fingers crossed for the roulette as well, because I still didn't get, what's his name, Sariel, and I need it for my dark team. A letter? Again?
商談のついでにと預かってきたわけです。
Thanking Zero Carte, the captain opens the letter and begins to read it.
どれどれ？招待状、青の騎士除任式のお知らせ？青の騎士除任予定者、秩序の機構団所
Surely
属。
this means we're going to get a Grand Lisha now, right? Like, she's been completely ignored for the better part of 7 years. Surely we're going to get a Grand Lisha now. If not a Grand Lisha, at least a 5-star for a Grand version, even though that would be a little bit less hype. In the face of history's endless march, mortal lifespans are too fleeting. This is why people must pass their desires, their pride, and even their karma to the following generations. If you're talking Blue Knight passing his karma down to Lisha, I'm not sure how well this is going to turn out. Even though Walfrid was good friends with the captain's father, so maybe this means that Lisha can leave the crew of enforcers and actually join the Grand Cipher in a bit more stable manner. But for some, that inheritance can become a curse. Clinging to them like refuse, it can bind them to a nature they do not desire and force them down a path they would not choose. So they're jinxing Lisha's future already. As a certain group of knights is about to be to welcome their newest member, they find themselves standing atop the empowering paths of 7 stars. So either these 7 stars are talking about Siete, but that doesn't really seem like it. Or 7 different astrals, since the event is called the Astrals. We already had a little bit of a bout between Siete and the Blue Knight. Not sure if they're going to bring that back into this event. That was back in the Eternals event the first time, when they wanted to go and arrest Six for his crimes. That also didn't work out too well. Interlude, 12 subliminality rings. That's nice for extra stats. And that's basically it. Powerful weapon reached new heights. We can transcend. That's cute.
リーシャさんが青の騎士。
Also, what's
じゃあ
happening
儀
with the
式とは
background
別
music?
に私たちでもお祝いしましょう。
I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Lisha has always been one of my favorite characters in this game, so she has to get something good. Ah yeah, basically uncapped materials.
Ho. 可動域の確保のために関節はこういう構造なんだ。
Blue?
指先までだいぶこだわってるね。すご。ここどうなってるの？
ふふん、すごいでしょ。
Oh, they must be from
これがエ
the
ルステの技
first
術
part
力なんだ。
of the new main story quest.
あんまり触られるとくすぐったい。あ、ごめんね。つい夢中になっちゃって。でも勉強になるな。これを参考にすれば高性
She
能
has
な
the
マニ
little
ピュレ
tree
ーター
mouth.
をもっと見せてもらってもいいかな。
あくまで服の上からだ。変なところに手を伸ばしたら同性といえど容赦はしないぞ。
Of course, Apollonia is always protecting her kid.
それはもちろん。じゃあオーキス、ちょっと一枚脱いでもらえる？
貴様、話を聞いてたか。
団長ちゃん、喉乾いてない？お姉さん、飲み物
Oh
持っ
right,
てこようか。
Narmaya is now part of the main crew as well, and she's gotten a nice new
ビー
skin
ラからお
too.
土産にもらったクッキーが厨房にあった
So,
な。
new Narmaya Grand on the horizon,
それじゃ
or
あ
maybe
紅
just
茶
a
がい
new
いか
version.
な。お姉さん、すぐに用意するね。
私も手伝います。
私も行こう。この人数のカップを運ぶのは2人じゃ難しいだろうからな。
Groundwater Naru. Which element is she missing? I think fire. We don't have a fire Naru. Another Naru I won't get. Still haven't gotten the wind one. Oh god. Yeah, not getting the wind one actually hurts a bit. She's been one of the best burster in that element since forever. The crew has decided without hesitation to attend Lycia's investiture ceremony. This is to be held in Calhes Grande, at the first hall of the crew of enforcers. The ship is making its way to that place, which also serves as the crew of enforcers' headquarters. And Bro is from the new main story quest as well. Probably should have played that before starting this one, but I guess we can catch up on it maybe tomorrow. Before free new event character. Nah, there's absolutely no way Games is not going to sell you another Narmea. She's been the poster girl of the game since release, and she's likely one of the big money makers out
それ
there.
にしてもまさかリーシャが青の騎士になるなんてな。青の騎士っていや秩序の気空団のトップだし、すっげえ出世したってことだよな。
そもそも七葉の騎士は世襲だろう。娘が
Oh,
後を
and
継
Six
ぐこ
got
と
a
に
new costume as well.
意外性はないように思うがな。
も黒騎士はオイゲンの娘であってエルステ王家のやつではねえよな。
私の場合は事情が異なる。権威を利用させてもらっただけで正式に叙任されたわけではない。勝手に黒騎士を名乗る
So she
私
just
の
crashed
存
the
在を
party.
秦王は当時さぞ疎ましく思っていただろうな。
秦王って団長のこと？いえ、その時はそうじゃなくて、シェロとシーザーから空の歴史は教えてもらったけど、七葉の騎士の
Yeah, but
主
also
っ
they
て
clearly
星
didn't
の
go far
民なんじゃ
enough.
なかった？
そういや、そんな話もあったか。なんかややこしいな。
Please teach us, Mr. White Knight.
この辺りは空の歴史でもつまずきやすい箇所ですから、一緒に整理していきましょう。まずそもそも七葉の騎士とは何なのか。
When everyone turns attentively to listen to Caesar, he softly clears his throat and continues.
七葉の騎士、その歴史はおよそ2000年前、星の民の襲来まで遡ります。空の世界を征服した星の民はそれぞれ強大な力を持つものの、数に関しては空の民に劣る。そこで星の民は空を管理するため、主要な空域に一人ずつ空の世界から協力者を立てました。それこそが空の民でありながら星に仕える7人の騎士、七葉の騎士の始まりです。
So yeah, basically turncoats, or as we come to call them in modern day terms, winning team joiners.
いろいろ事情はあったみたい。これはエルステの例なんだけど、星の民が攻めてきた当時、エルステはファータグランデ空域で一番強い国だったんだ。それでも
And if not winning team joiners, possibly undercover
全然か
spies
なわなくて、
trying to join the Astrals in order to betray them at the first possible occasion.
一番強い国である以上、負けると分かっていても率先して侵略者と戦わなきゃいけない。かといって星の民と全面的に戦えば当然国は滅んでしまう。だから星の民と取引して七葉の座を引き受けることで国を守ったってことみたい。
オルキス陛下のおっしゃったように、七葉の騎士は各空域の有力な国家や組織から選ばれました。その空域の最大戦力を抑えることで権威を示して逆らう者を減らすという意図もあったようですね。本来七葉の騎士の主は各空域を監督する星の民だったというわけです。
Wait, that's Mikaboshi right there. Hold on.
本来七葉の騎士の主は各空域を監督する星の民だったというわけです。
Don't really recognize the others. I think this is the last boss we fought. They are reusing his sprite right here. This is definitely Mikaboshi. 3 new sprites. Not gonna lie, from the head and the coat, this kind of looks like Lucifer, but there's absolutely no way this can be Lucifer. And I guess these two guys, they've got a sprite, they're going to make an appearance in this event later on. Very surprised to see Mikaboshi here, especially considering that if the title of the Luminary Knight is passed down from father to child, that means Shitori was supposed to become one of the Luminary Knights. Just she never did. While the Cruding city that Narmia has brought, Caesar continues his
現
lesson.
在七葉の騎士という制度はイスタバイオン王国によって運用されています。なので団長さんは今回空位となっている神王の代理として招待されているはずです。
I mean, they say fill in for the True King, but the True King actually left his post to us. Technically, we are the True King, we're not just filling in. Even though, if the timelines manage to merge back together, we should have both the True King and the Violet Knight back into our realm.
式典では他の七葉の騎士と顔を合わせることもあるでしょう。今の七葉の騎士と各空域についてもおさらいしておきましょうか。
そういえば私たちがよく知らない
I
空
remember
域も
correctly,
たくさんあるもん
Baragona
ね。
should also be back. Caesar start listing the different skydoms.
まずはファーターグランデ空域。置かれた七葉の座は黒騎士であり、
And we keep filling in for others, filling in for one of the 12
契
generals.
約を結んだのは
Thankfully, we found
エ
her.
ルステ王国。監督した星の民はビューレイストでした。
Oh, this was Loki's brother. He's the one who made the...
ビューレイストさんはイスタルシアで一緒
At
に
least
戦
he
ってくれ
wasn't
ま
as
したよね。
bad as the other Astrals.
お父さん、私も会いたかったな。
ビューレイスト殿下には私も幼い頃世話になった。
This one actually fucking hurts.
墓前に良い報告をすること
After
で
the free draws, I spent 150 gold moons to finally pick up my Yatima. Not even 10 days later, random ass YOLO pools, Yatima comes out. And now I've got 150 gold moons just burnt for nothing.
契約を結んだのはトリッ
If
ト王
only
国で
I knew. But go and imagine that
三
you
カ
would
星
get
と
a
いう星の
Yatima
民でした。
out of a random 10 pool 3 years after her release.
思えば私たちが初めて手合わせした七葉の騎士は
That
バラ
should be
ゴ
the
ナ殿だ
inventory
ったか。
almost clear.
あの頃より修羅場もくぐったし強くなったとは思うが、未だに勝てる気はしねえな。
三日星ともいろいろあったよな。教会の世界とか閣僚と戦ったりとかで。
シーザーから聞いちゃいたが、お前ら星の民とも縁があるんだな。伊達にイスタルシアまで行ってねえな。
私たちはいろんな人に助けてもらって大きな旅を終えることができたんです。
Same happened to me once I decided to see Robubs, suddenly started appearing in the draws. Yeah, that sucks, but again, it's just the nature of the gacha. Can't really do much about
良い
it.
方向に変わることができた者たちも大勢いる。
団長さんのおかげで変わった筆頭はイスタバイオン王国かもしれませんね。イスタバイオンはアウライグランデ大空域を治め黄金の騎士の座をいただいていました。
And this can all go.
アウライグランデのみ監督した星の民と空の関係は他と異なっていたそうです。当時イスタバイオン王国が星
Okay,
の
Guild
民を
or
返り討
summons
ちにしたこと
already
で
reduced,
有利な条件で関係を結んだとか。
and there's a few less red marks around.
話聞いてると星の民って倒せる相手じゃなさそうだけど。
詳しい資料は残っていませんが、一方
this
的
can't
な
be
連続
hosted.
関係でなかったのは事実のようです。監督していた星の民はオノス・ケリス、 こちらもあまり情報が
On
ないので
Oscalis,
す
she's
が、
new.
聞いたことねえ星の民だな。
団長さんたちに
Why
と
not
って
set
は
up auto reserve for
故
sure?
郷
I
では
think
な
I
い
have
区
it
域の
set up.
歴
It's
史で
just
すか
that
ら
it doesn't
ね。
pick that stuff up.
聞き覚えがなくとも無理はありません。ですが青の騎士の叙任式には7つの空域すべてから代表者が招待されています。カルエスグランデ空域、ワーヌーングランデ空域、アマトグランデ空域、
Maybe I didn't.
そしてエクセグランデ空域についてもしっかりと頭に入れておきましょう。
Now, what was that to grind? Caesar paces back and forth across the Grand Cypher's deck like a professor in the middle of a
シ
lecture.
ーザーのやつなんだかんだ言ってノリノリだな。
そうい
Some
う
guys
やつ
still
な
have
ん
to
だ
get
よ。
XP.
頼られるのが嬉しいんだろうね。
Bro still has to be uncapped.
はいそこ、死後は慎んでくださいね。
Caesar turns his eyes to the bow of the Grand Cypher and continues his explanation.
現在航行中のカルエスグランデ空域には秩序の気空団の本拠地があります。星の民の襲来当時、契約を結んだのは光線の騎士団、秩序の気空団の前身となった組織です。いただく七葉の座は青の騎士、これは言わずもがなですね。そして監督した星の民はリリト。
ビューレイストさんから教えてもらいました。そのリリトさんが私を作ったって。
リリトはあまり好戦的ではなく、空の民のことも手広く扱うことはなかったそうです。カルエスグランデの星の民ですから、秩序の気空団の第一長者にはより
Okay, I
詳
guess
しい
these
情
all
報
go
がある
on
かもし
the
れません。
to-do list. I got a few characters to still bring to 5 stars.
次にワーヌーングランデ空域についてですが、
Caesar pauses and turns to Dreydara.
なんだよ。俺から言うことは何もねえぞ。
では引き続き私から。ワーヌーングランデ空域はレム公国が契約を結び、紫の騎士の座をいただいていました。
レム、確かナルグランデ空域に同じ名前の国があったような。
Isn't Rem also where the the two soldiers
レム
comes
公
from?
国の血筋の者が
Not Storm and Drang, but
爵位
the
と共に得た
other
領地が
Storm
元に
and
なっているん
Drang
です。
lookalikes that were working under the true king. Or am I remembering things wrong? That was also more than a few years ago. That was during the Echidna arc.
レム王国にいた時にそんな話を聞いたな。そういうわけで紫の騎士がグランサイファーをレム王国の奴らに預けてたんだったか。
紫の騎士ザリドラは現在行方不明となっています。
Well, not really missing, he's dead. Or at least, he was dead, killed by Necessaria in the main story quest timeline.
紫の騎士はもともと素性を隠して極秘任務に臨むことも多かったのですが、
But since the True King went to pick up another copy in a parallel universe, he should be coming back.
公的には聖少獣アーカー社の回収任務以降、完全な音信不通となりました。
And that was our fault.
いやしかしその後のカクリオとの決戦では紫の騎士の姿もあったはずだが。
ええ、ですから公的にと。足取りが分かっているのは回収任務までなんです。彼があの場にいたことは確かですが、国への連絡はありませんし、以後行方は分かっていません。
どうせラーメンでも食いながらどっかでフラフラしてんだろ。
話を戻しましょうか。ワーヌーングランデ空域はアッハーズという星の民が監督していました。次にアマトグランデ空域ですが、この空域は交易は行うもののかなり閉鎖的な空域なんです。
Next guild war, we said it's water favorite, correct?
オクタビア監督した星の民であるシユともにあまり情報がありません。
This one is new, and the Green Knight is also one that we really have seen very little of.
だいぶ変わったやつだったよな。
最後はエクセグランデ
We
空
might as
域
well
です。
try and uncap one of
置かれた
the
必要の座
Red
は
Corpus weapons.
白騎士。契約を結んだのはクレシュタイン王国、つまりは私の成果です。
Should still be missing a few materials, mostly from Babs and Belial.
まあエクセグランデ戦役によって私以外の一族は滅んでしまったわけですが、
本人からさらっと言われるとどう反応していいか困るんだけど。
監督した星の民の名は
Oh, cool, I can actually host these. Despite his effortless delivery until now, Caesar suddenly cuts off his sentence. He doesn't remember the name of the last astral.
大丈夫？
His own astral.
それがエクセグランデ空域を監督した星の民の名前が知っているはずなのですが、どうしても思い出せなくて。
If you guys want to join,
ど
it
うせ
should
ま
be
た
a
遅くま
nice
で
easy
事
clear
務
on
仕事で
Frodo.
もしてたんだろう。
ダメよ。夜はしっかり休まないと。
いえ、そういうわけではないのですが。
Caesar tilts his head to the side, more mystified than anyone else about this lapse in his memory.
エクセグランデ空域は過去にカクリオから激しい攻撃を受けたと聞いている。思い出すことができないのはその影響じゃないのか。
How do you forget the astral you set a pact with?
そろそろ見えてきたぞ。ティモリア島、あそこに秩序の気空団の本拠地第一庁舎があるんだったな。
The crew members finally lay eyes on the island where Alicia is to be knighted. Surrounding it, they see a legion of airship trying to dock at the island to attend the ceremony. And now I need to catch up with the main story, because why is she blue?
こりゃしばらく動きそうにねえからな。
After reaching Timoria Island, the Grand Cypress crew is being forced to wait.
船が多すぎて港がさばききれてね。ここまでの渋滞は初めてだぜ。
それだけたくさんの人が
Because I'm blue, that would be that would bringing back 2000 hits.
しかし主催のアラが目につくぜ。混雑は予想できたはずだろう。招待する日付をずらして先に来た客は式典当日まで島でもてなしゃいいだろうに。
相変わらず細かいところまで気の回る男だ。
どうあれ今は待つしかないさ。幸い天気は穏やかなようだしな。
叙任式自体は明日だったな。この分だと入港は深夜か。まあ朝になるな。お前らはもう寝てていいぞ。俺も適当に休むからよ。
サム。そんじゃお言葉に甘えて。
念のため私も残ろう。何かあった時の備えは必要だからな。
分かった。おやすみカタリナ。
あ、おやすみルリア。風邪をひかないようにな。
After they're all in bed, Lyria calls out to the captain and Deern.
お二人はリリトさんについてどんな人だと思いますか？
どんなって、ルリアが作られた時の話はオイラたちも聞かせてもらったけど、ちょっと変わったやつみてえだよな。
I mean, she's an astral. She was just experimenting with stuff, likely trying to store as much power as she possibly could.
って思ってたんです。だけどやっぱり気になるんです。私を作った、私を産んでくれた人のことが。
星の神はまあ見た目が似てただけで、あれはちょっと違うよな。そもそも見た目が似てたのだってルリアの方から影響を受けたって話だったし。となると例のリリトってやつがルリアの母ちゃんってことになるのか？
リリトさんは私を作った時にどんなことを考えていたのか、このカルエスグランデ空域ならそういうことがわかるのかもしれません。だけど
Lyria stops as if guilty about something, then hesitantly opens her mouth again.
怖いんです。リリトさんのことを知るのが知りたいのに、でも何も知らない方がいいのかもって気持ちもあって。
Of course you're scared. I'll be by your side. On one side, it's kind of her mom. On the other side, she was an astral. She was still an invading force trying to rule the Sky Realm.
でもそれこそリリトってやつはアストロリアとはまた別のことを思ってたのかもしれねえぜ。
ありがとうございます。
The likelihood of Lyria's mother being just a wholesome, chungus, positive person, very, very low. The captain and Deern's encouragement softens Lyria's expression.
二人にお話ししたら少し気持ちが楽になりました。明日はいよいよリーシャさんの叙任式ですよね。今から楽しみです。それじゃあおやすみなさい、リーさん。
That night, Lyria has a dream. In it, she finds herself alone in a dark space.
ここは
Though looking around reveals nothing but darkness, she can detect the faint presence of something at her feet. Another Bahamut. Despite its enormous size, the being she finds there lowers his head as if to beg for her forgiveness. Then, bringing its head to her feet, it slowly starts consuming her from the bottom up. Vor in my Granblue Fantasy? The hell? Strangely, no pain accompanies the experience. Lyria is instead filled with a feeling of warmth. Unable to identify the emotion she is feeling, Lyria simply stares blankly at the being that is absorbing her. The hell? We know that was the original plan of the Omnipotent, grab both Deern and Lyria and eat them both up, since they were both parts that were supposed to act as batteries for Bahamut. But we're kind of done with all that stuff. Why is she dreaming about it now?
Hey, 街全体がすっごい賑やかだね。あっちこっちから美味しそうな匂いがします。
青の騎士の叙任式は島を挙げてのお祭りってわけか。
The captain's crew arrives on the island to find it's bubbling with excitement for the event.
数十年に一度のことだろうからな。それにこのティモリア島は秩序の騎空団が治める島と言っていい。その総団長を兼ねる青の騎士の叙任式となれば盛大に祝うのもうなずける。
賑やかな場は得意じゃない。団長、俺は離れて見守っているからお前たちは好きに。
んな釣れないこと言うなよ。せっかくの晴れの日だ。みんなで楽しむのが醍醐味だろ。
あなたは祭りと聞けば
Also, hold on. How
妙に
much
テンショ
character
ンが高く
development
なり
had
ますね。
Six had to go through in order to show his face openly in public?
団長ちゃんもみんなで一緒にお祭りを回り
He's
たいよ
always been
ね。
weird about his mask. The captain nods and they all set off. As the crew members walk, they suddenly hear a near-forgotten voice.
団長さん。
君たちは
Goodness gracious, no wonder they call it here a near-forgotten voice. We haven't heard about the little draft king since before the wall arc. The knight in red armor falls to one knee before the captain and bows his head. Ended up taking MVP. Oh, don't worry, I'm just full auto-in for some mats.
同じくトリッド王国第12王子ハルバーダ、ここに。
Hal humbly announces himself to the captain with his head bowed, but quickly returns to a cheerful expression and tone.
少しこそばゆいな。挨拶はこんな感じで大丈夫ですか？今は団長さんが新王なんですよね。あ、もう退位したんでしたっけ？本当に久しぶりだな。お元気そうで何よりです。覚えてますか？僕のこと。
当然だぜ。春がいなけりゃオイラたち白風の
Head
境
to
で
bed
そんな
now,
しち
enjoy
ま
the
って
event.
たもん
Hey,
な。
thanks for coming by and have a nice night.
お久しぶりです。ハルさんもお元気でしたか？グレートウォールでの戦いの後、一緒にシュテルケ島に戻ったのが最後でしたよね。あの後、私たちは教会の世界に流れ着いて、それからいろいろあって。
振り返ってみると随分
Alright,
昔
it
の
wasn't
こと
even
の
the
ように
fight
思える。
against the wall. It was the very first time we got there.
グレートウォールで私はあなたたちに命を救われました。しかしカクリオとの戦いで再会した際にはろくにお礼もお伝えできず。
The captain waves off the knight's concern, pointing out that there had been no time for such things, and directed a word smile at Baragona.
ありがとうございます。ところで父君にはお会いできましたか？
And that
そう
we
いや
did.
親父さん宛てのことづてを預かってたんだっけ？
いいえ、きっぱり断られてしまいました。自分で直接言えと。どうやら私から彼に直接言葉を伝えられるのは随分先のことになりそうです。
The group converses for a while, but with Hal still unaccustomed to crowds, he and Baragona decide to return to the inn to rest. As the crew members watch the two retreating figures fondly, they're called out from behind.
陛下、お付きになっていたのですね。
現在は退位したとお聞きしています。正しくは団長とお呼びすべきかと。
So what? we just left Alaya as the Queen of Istavion all by herself?
青の騎士の助任者として来ているはず。
And looks like the true king hasn't made it back home just yet.
承知いたしました。それでは私もそのように。
アリア様にオクタビア殿。
いよいよ七葉の騎士揃い踏みだな。
しかし陛下だけでもよかっただろうに、随分と大所帯だな。
まあリーシャには俺たちも世話になったからな。
神王と七葉の騎士ってだけじゃなくて、こいつとリーシャは特別な関係だからな。
If only this special relationship was a bit more prominent throughout this story. It looks like our wife is getting
リーシャの親
jealous.
父さんは一緒に旅した仲間なんだぜ。
なんとも運命的な間柄だ。伴侶たる私を差し置いて。
ご公儀が広いことは喜ばしいことです。我が王よ。
あなたは何なの？マギシェルとかゴーレムってやつ？
いいえ、どちらでもありません。
And she's saying that only because of the way the Green Knight speaks.
オクタビアはアマトグランデ空域の王族か何かなのか？そもそも顔くらい見せてくれても。
これが私の顔です。どうぞよくご覧ください。
いや、それ鎧じゃん。
That's just
中の人の顔を見たいんだけど。
私に中の人などおりません。
おい、そんな目でこっちを見るな。こいつのことは私にもよくわからん。アマトグランデ空域は父上の出身空域なんだ。だからアマトグランデとのやりとりはすべて父上が直接行っていた。そういうわけで私にもわからないことが多いんだ。
Since Octavia is being openly evasive, the group gives up on learning anything more from her. Which is too bad, because I'm getting more and more curious.
しかしこうなると姿を見せていない
So
のは
either she's
紫の
puppeteering
騎
the
士
armor
だ
from
けだ
somewhere
が
else, or it's like
どうだかな。どっかにはいるんじゃねえか。
what's this guy's name from Fullmetal Alchemist, who only has a soul linked to an armor. And despite his cool tone of voice, Deirdara looks into the distance as if hoping to catch sight of someone.
それでは公務がありますゆえ、私は失礼させていただきます。
そういや、お前もリーシャと叙任式の準備があるんじゃなかったか？
Lisha's letter had asked the captain to meet her before the investiture ceremony.
それじゃあ私たちは。
And another interruption, this time under the form of Lyria's being angry. At that moment, Lyria's stomach seeks attention.
これはそのお美味しそうな屋台が並んでるから。
おいらもそろそろ腹減ってきちまったな。
It's lunchtime after all. Go ahead and eat.
まあここはお言葉に甘えようぜ。打ち合わせに俺たちが行ってもやることは特にねえだろうしよ。
つまり陛下は リーシャと二人きりで打ち合わせを。
そんなわけないじゃないですか。
Again, why is she so jealous?
多分モニカとバルフリータあたりはその場にいるんじゃねえか。
じゃあお姉さんたち打ち合わせが終わるくらいに迎えに行くね。
そうだな。行こう、ルリア。
それじゃあどの屋台が美味しかったかしっかり調べておきますね。
The captain smiles at Lyra and parts from the group, heading for the first hall. At a certain stall, the crowd is watching two people argue.
兄ちゃん、うちのポム焼きに文句があるってのか?
Looks like no matter where we go, we are never getting rid of random bandit NPCs.
ポム粉を焼いてんだからポム焼きで間違いねえだろうが。なんだと？へりくつ言いやがって。
ちょっともうやめなよ。秩序の気空団呼ばれちゃ
うよ。うるせえ！お前は黙ってろ。
Thinking he arranged customer is about to become violent, the captain moves to intercede. However,
多少の喧嘩は祭りの花だが、そろそろ黙ってられねえな。
you're not the golden knight, you're not the white knight.
なんだお前、余計な口出しは。お前それ。
Whomst? The customer points at the unconscious person tucked under the young man's arm.
あ、これか？ひったくり犯。さっきそこでとっ捕まえてよ。
やっと追いついた。私のバッグ。
おー、悪い。言い争う声が聞こえたからつい体が動いちまった。
And he doesn't look like he's with the crew of enforcers either. Rare GBF streaming. Hey Angel, welcome. How are things going? The young man hands the purse he's carrying to the newly arrived tourist.
ひったくりにあった時はもうどうしようかと。
ああ、祭りはよからぬやからも増えるからな。
Yeah, some of the past events have been so and so, didn't really feel like streaming them, but it's the 12th anniversary. This is supposed to be a big celebration. We've got the roulette coming out soon, so I want to see if I can try and get back into Granblue Fantasy a little bit. Because I feel like I've been missing out on a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to progression and whatnot. Past couple of guild wars have been one after the other.
お前、仲裁に入ろうとしてただろ?
One worse than the
その
other.
年齢じゃちょっと危なっかしいが、正義感の強いやつは嫌いじゃねえな。
All good, about to sleep in an hour. Well, if you feel like staying around for an hour, we see how the event goes. If not, have a nice night, I guess.
俺はプロクルス。人を探してるんだが。長い黒髪で琥珀色の瞳のしかめっ面した女を見てないか?
Long black hair, amber eyes, and scowling.
そうか。
What are the chances that this is one of the astrals who signed a path with the other guys? A pact with the original. God damn it. Luminary
お前の
Knights.
目と心意気が気に入ったからな。護衛も兼ねて送ってってやるよ。その年で気空団の団長か。すげえなそりゃ。
Progulus is tagging along as the captain heads to the first stall when the investiture ceremony
喧
is
嘩
to
の
be
仲
held.
裁に入ろうとしてるお前を見たときに古いダチを思い出したんだ。お人よしで正義感が強くてどうにもほっとけないやつだよ。目が離せねえっつうか。
Progulus' expression becomes affectionate as a wry smile
どっ
comes
か
to
似
his
てると思っ
face.
たんだが。でもあいつに気空団の団長は無理だろうな。 優しいやつだった。普段は臆病なくせに妙なところで頑固なんだよ。
He stares off in the distance, then changes subject.
このティモリア島にも実はそのダチのために来たんだ。そういや聞いてなかったな。お前は何だって島に来たんだ？観光か？それとも気空団の仕事か
？Came for my friend, came for
次期
Risha.
青の騎士リーシャが友達。
Proculus sees her speaking, taking on an expression more harsh than any he's shown up until now.
団長さん。
And finally, there she is. Looking towards the sound of Lisha's voice, the captain sees her approaching with a smile from the first hall. Also, Proculus being against the cops feels weird. We should probably watch out for him. Don't have any proof, but I get the feeling he is either an astral or aligned with the astrals. Might cause trouble later on. The captain turns back to thank Proculus, but finds the man has already disappeared. Another reason to be wary of him. Meanwhile, Lyria and the other crew members are trying foods from different stalls.
ルリアちゃん。はい。これおいしいな。ちょっと熱いですけど。
And of course, Narmia is never going to stop pampering everyone.
やけどしなかった？次はもっとフーフーするね。
過保護にも程があるだろ
う。ダリダラちゃんもいる？はい。
いや、いるか。自分で食えるわ。
ふふ、照れてる？
大男は照れん。
落ち着いてください、ダリダラ。年下相手にムキになるものじゃありませんよ。
そうだよね。小さいよね。
22, we should be good. Don't call me small, bro, you're a harbin. At this point, you should just get used to it.
屋台の品だけでは栄養も偏ってしまうからな。
あの看板、多分食堂じゃねえか？
ああ、あの店は確か。
As she peers at the sign in the group, the sign that the group is working towards, Alaya suddenly stumbles.
なんだ、今足に何か。
I guess we found the person the other guy was looking for.
大丈夫ですか
？With Lyria's help, the girl manages to sit up. And yeah, dark hair, amber eyes, dejected look on her face. Wait, is this Nerissa? What the hell?
あれ？あんたは確か。
Am I wrong, or is this just Nerissa Ravencroft? Are we getting VTubers in Granblue Fantasy now?
あんた確か
And off she goes. Losing the last of her strength, the girl collapses back to the ground.
どうしたんですか？どこか痛いですか？
わかんない。お腹がキューってなってフラフラしてぐるぐるして力が入んなくて。
Girl is just hungry.
腹減ってんじゃねえのか？
え？
じゃんじゃん持ってきてくれ。 ここは王女様のおごり。
Dude, I don't have a summon lock. Let me use my damn summons.
好きにしろ。お前たちには世話になっているからな。
わお、大盤振る舞いだね。それじゃごちそうになります。
地の世界と地の民か。すでに仲間に引き入れているとはな。
旅は道連れってな。イスタバイオンじゃどうなってる？
もちろん受け入れている。神王の件も含め、嫌が王でも国が新たな形にならざるを得ないな。
The crew has taken the starving girl into the diner, where they are now ordering massive amounts of food.
どうした？食べないのか？
She has to be one of the astrals, right?
私は。
もしかしてお前も地の民か？この辺りの料理が見慣れないとか。
地の民？何それ、違うけど。
ほら、あなたも手を合わせて。
Don't tell me. She's an astral who got stuck on the sky realm. She's never eaten anything before, and now she suddenly has the urge. After some inner conflict, the girl claps her hands together with resolve in her eyes.
いただきます。
She takes a fried potato wedge in her hand and... After staring at it for a while, she tosses it into her mouth. And we're back to the insane anime girl sounds. Okay, Granblue, okay.
よほど腹が空いていたんだな。もう少し追加で注文しようか。
美味しいですか？
美味しい。
美味しい。すごい美味しい。
これも美味しいよ。食べる？
美味しい。なんで？どういうこと？
空腹すぎて混乱しているのか？これも食べるか？少
She's
し辛い
behaving
かも
as
し
if
れない
she's
が。
never had food before.
食べる。
忙しいやつだな。
Having finished eating, the girl lets out a sigh of satisfaction and takes a sip of tea.
少しは落ち着いたようだな。
うん。ありがとう。あんたたちには助けられたわ。これ、お金が
One
必要
turn
なの
for
ね。
the 35 hits.
自分の分は自分で払いたいけど。でも私、空の世界のお金って持ってないのよね。だから、困ったことがあれば、私の名前を呼びなさい。
The girl pridefully sweeps back her long hair as she looks at the
力
group.
になるわ。この私が。どこであろうと必ず駆けつけるから。
That's a good sentiment, but again, we still don't know who she is.
何かあったら助けてあげるって言ってるんだけど。ダメ？そっか。じゃあお皿とか洗うから。
Just wash dishes or
名前を呼ぶ
something.
も何も、おいらたち生き倒れの姉ちゃんの名前をまだ聞いてねえぜ。
そういうことは早く言いなさいよ。
まあまあ。それで君は何と言うんだ？
私の名前は
On she was starting.
ちょっと待って、違う。そう、ノリスケ。私のことはノリスケって呼びなさい。
ノリスケさん？
As if anyone is going to believe that. Also, strangely, that Norisuke sounds close to Nerissa.
とにかく世話になったわね。さっきも言った通り、今私に返せるものはないけど、この恩は忘れないわ。いずれ何かの形で必ず返すから。
The girl turns on the spot, sending her lustrous back hair dancing in the air, and she walks into the crowd. So the PS, the Astrals, is like, watch out, the Astrals turned into girl failures.
何だったんだ、あいつは。
ノリスケさん、もしかすると星の民かもしれません。
あんな情けねえ感じなのにか？
ルリア、かもしれないというのは？
それがノリスケさんから感じた星の力がすごく弱いというか曖昧で。
The group turns back to the crowd, but the girl has disappeared without a trace. I was wondering if maybe the Astrals were losing power because Australia was no longer there, but Australia was an astral creation, so they had power before creating her, so doesn't really work like this. The fact that she's stranded in the Sky Realm, though, that stays.
おっと、イスタバイオン王国の戦王にこの態度は不敬だったかな。
Stop it, we're not amused.
父さん、団長さん困ってるじゃないですか。
すまない。どうやら私も少々浮かれているようだ。ともあれ、改めて歓迎しよう。ようこそカルエスグランデ空域ティモリア島へ。
Having entered the first hall, the captain is now meeting with Lisha, Monica, and Walfried.
団長さん、イスタルシアへの旅、本当にお疲れ様でした。手紙で無事は知っていたけど、こうして目の前にすることでようやく安心できました。
星の民による空の世界への侵攻も団長たちのおかげで形勢を逆転することができたんだ。まったくキコーラはもはや何度世界を救ったかわからないな。
As everyone quietly rejoices in their reunion, the captain suddenly turns to Walfried. About my dad.
ああ、ある程度顛末は聞き及んでいる。私自身、奴の最後については感じ取るものがあった。
The captain's gaze falls to the floor, but Walfried smiles in consolation.
少なくとも私が感じた思いは決して後悔や無念などではなかった。いささか大人げないところもあるが、奴も立派な貴空士だ。自らの旅に心残りなどあるものか。断言しよう。あの男はかの地で今も豪快に笑っているさ。
The encouraging words of Gallant's old friend lift the captain's spirits.
さて、あまり時間もないことだ。叙任式の式次第について確認を済ませてしまおうか。
で、最後に私は青の騎士の鎧の前で立膝をついて宣誓をします。そうしたら団長さんは剣で私の肩を叩いてください。軽くですよ、軽く。
それで叙任式は大体終わりです。後片付けなどはこちらに任せてください。
Lisha realizes that the captain is still looking at her expectantly.
残念だが、リーシャが青の騎士の鎧をまとうのはまだ先のことだ。
Also, they probably have to fit the armor for her.
実はまだお披露目ができなくて、私と父さんでは体格が違いすぎて、ベルトや詰め物で調整できる範囲じゃないんです。なので打ち直しが必要なんですけど、必要の騎士の鎧は星の民が作ったものだから。
Isn't reforging it a bit too much?
かつてはタウルークが手配をしていた。どうやらアマトグランデ空域に特別なつてがあるらしくてな。
なので叙任式の後にアマトグランデ空域に行って打ち直してもらう予定なんです。
Though slightly disappointed by the news, the captain tells Lisha that it will be worth the wait.
ありがとうございます。青の騎士を告げるくらい成長できたのはきっと団長さんのおかげです。
私からも礼を言わせてもらおう。もはや君は秩序の騎空団にとって欠かすことのできない存在だ。D 社の成長だけではない。君たちの成長あればこそ私は一線を退く決意ができた。
And let's not also forget all the Arcarum stuff. Wilfrid gazes out of the window behind the captain.
大浮上の影響は著しい。新たな世界には新たな秩序が、新たな秩序の担い手が必要になる。決して平坦な道ではないだろう。しかし D 社よ、お前ならば皆と共に歩んでいけるはずだ。
はい。
Her face overflowing with emotion, Lisha places a hand over her heart.
秩序の騎空団の歴史、父さんたちが受け継いできた使命、青の騎士、そして秩序の騎空団の総団長として必ず全てを受け継いでみせます。
Lisha's declaration brings a gentle smile to everyone's faces. However, Wilfrid's eyes alone hold a slight trace of concern. If you're stepping down, it means you think she's ready. If you think she's ready, there's no real reason to have concern. Come on. And finally, attack from the stars. This is where we should also unlock the first fight. Just wondering whether it's going to be the blonde guy or Nerissa. The Blue Knight's investiture ceremony is finally beginning. 6 of the Luminary Knights, the Violet Knight being absent, are seated together, blending the stage and air of solemnity.
これだけ揃うと重圧がすごいね。
はい、なんだか僕まで緊張してきちゃいました。
リーシャ、頑張って。
Seated near the stage are those close to the knights, including the captain, Bjorn, and Lyria.
お前、大丈夫か？さっきから手の汗がすげえぜ。
I'm a bit on edge.
私、カタリナに教えてもらったことあります。 こういう時は手に文字を書くって。
Half from the frozen plains, it's been years since it was introduced. That is super rare. Oh yeah, apparently some people have been making it back. And Hal, yeah, it's the... from the first time we saw the wall. Hello, Post-8 Vincent, welcome. How are things going? Since they're kind of reforging the Sky Realm, I think they're trying to put a little bit of nobility together in order to reform a little bit of the main story. So far we know very little of what's going on, just that apparently Lucilius is back and is getting ready to maybe destroy the world again.
やっぱりちょっと見えづらいね。
とはいえ、団長の関係者だけで舞台を埋めるわけにもいかないからな。
壇上にいるよりこっちの方が気楽で助かるけどな。おお、団長のやつ緊張で顔が真っ白になってら。
他の客が邪魔で何も見えね
え。Act 2 rewards are stupid. We get beer.
ジョニーを控えし者の先生はここに
like that was a spoiler need. Ah, wait, what do you mean beer? Also, where was it spoiled? Because I didn't see.
しかしながら必要の主たるイスタバイオン国王の座は現在空位となっている。そのため先の王たる次のも
I
のを
heard
持って
someone say it might have been an SSR Licia, but sorry, not Licia, Lyria, but I'm not too sure. Honestly, I'm a bit fixated with Licia at this point. I just want her to get something new. Despite being wrecked with nerves, Licia proudly faces the captain and the armor. Walfrid is also visibly moved by the sight of his daughter about to succeed him. Licia gets down on one knee, ready to finally complete the ceremony and become the Blue Knight. Then, suddenly...
雷？雨も降ってないのに。
This means the anniversary event is practically MSQ update as well, right? Looks like it.
偽りの主から一体何を賜るという。
Aren't you dead? Okay, that's new. That's new. And he's not the boss that we just faced. She looks awesome. But he died. He died twice back in Estalucia.
バカな。あなた。
お父さん。
七葉の一角たる黒騎士、その主星の民ビューレイストがここに宣言する。
The man raises his hand to the sky and lightning strike falls upon Timoria Island like a pillar of light.
凪の時代は終わりだ。今この時をもって我ら星の民は波空戦争を再開する。
First, absolutely not. Second, what the hell happened to Bilster? As his cruel announcement lingers in the air alongside the thunder, the man's eyes show no recognition of his beloved daughter. And the game stopped loading. Like, we met him in Estalucia, he was such a good guy. Tried to do everything he can in order to get closer to his little brother, Loki.
賑やかなのは得意じゃないと言っているのに。
Check back Act 2 briefly. If the game loads. Sense of the... Oh, here. Act 1 is Inheritance, the second one is from March 4th. got Mikaboshi here, but it was expected since she's one of the astrals who made the Luminary Knights. And that's it. You can click Act 2 for the spoilers. Hold on. I don't see it. Oh, here. After clearing the interlude, there should be a preview of Act 2. I can say that I really shit. I skipped everything. Oh yeah, maybe it's later. Yeah, after finishing the main story, it makes a bit more sense, instead of just having everything spoiled off of the start.
賑やかなのは得意じゃないと言っているのに、なぜ連れ回そうとする。
I love how this one went from powerful astral to just random girl failure. So Dant went back with milk, but the milk is spoiled and now he's pissed. You're talking about Beelist. I don't know, and at this point I don't think Beelist is the same Beelist we actually met up in Estalucia. There's way too big of a character difference. When you click what's this, the infograph appears. I still cannot take the fact how the 6VA is so long-lived. Oh right, I saw a picture of him, he's like past 50, well past 50 or something. The girl that Alaya, Caesar and the crew of the Grand Cypher rescued is throwing up the food they brought her.
何これ、食べ過ぎたってこと。足りなきゃ足りないで活動できないくせに一気に摂取したらダメなの。
No girl, you're supposed to pace yourself.
信じられない。なんて不便な体。
Grumbling to herself, she leaves the alley and walks unsteadily into the street.
いい匂いする。落ち着いたらまたお腹減ってきた。でもお金ないしな。っていうか、どうしてこんなことに。私は間違いなく命を落としたはず。500年前のあの戦いで。
Okay, so this has to be something related to the way we resurrected people who fell to the other world. She might have been killed by the other world and suddenly got resurrected out of nowhere.
なんだ、雷。
どうしよう。降るのかな。
Have a new remake plus Yoko Taro? I saw that tweet as well, keeping our fingers crossed. Bet my crewmate that Rel will show up, pretty possible at this point. Rel was spared the punishment that Bahamut was supposed to give them. So Rel is still somewhere alive up in Estalucia. Not too sure they're going to show up in this event, but I don't know, maybe possible, because the other astrals are here. Without hesitation, the girl starts running towards where the investiture ceremony is being held. Rel got kicked. Wait, they got kicked out? Didn't Grant's dad and mom vouch in order to protect them? I mean, that says she should go to Augustine. Oh, and then I guess we'll see them. When the four Astrals are striking the first blow in their reopened war, there goes the Green Knight.
外装並びに制御駆動系に重大な損傷を確認。活動不能。
Complicated machinery becomes visible through the newly opened hole in her torso as Octavia falls to the ground.
緑の騎士って人間じゃなかったのか？
We could kind of tell.
未熟なり。いや、それ以前の問題か。
ああ、もったいない。空の民にしちゃ器用に作れてたのに。
団長、まずは距離を取れ。他の仲間たちと合流するぞ。
シンさん、いつの間に？
人目につかないよう見守っていた。要人として壇上に上がる以上、警戒は必要だからな。だがそれでも奴らの出現には気づけなかった。星の谷
So
の名は伊
Octavia
達で
is,
は
I
ないら
forgot,
しい。
the armor brothers from Fullmetal Alchemist. I'm not too sure. Apparently inside the armor there was a robot, but there's a chance she might just be controlling said robot from somewhere else.
団長ちゃん、大丈夫？先ほどの雷鳴は一体何があった？
退屈な式が面白くなってきたな。ドイツをぶっ飛ばせばいい。
Dardara looks around energetically as the Green Knight continues to lie motionless at his feet.
お父さん、私だよ、オルキスだよ。待って、何か変、冷たい感じがする。
ありえない。ビューレイスと殿下が破空戦争の再開を宣言するだと。ましてやオルキスを見ても何の反応も示さない。
Also, goddamn, all these years they could have done a little bit of a new art for the Black Knight.
およそ10年前。その分成長した私に気づけないのは理解できる。しかしオルキスはあの事件の影響で10年間体の成長が止まっていた。つまりオルキスは殿下の記憶のままの姿のはず。なのになぜただ蘇っただけではなく何者かに操られているのか。
Got Valentine Wamdus YOLOing before Annie, not the smartest choice, but it's like 210 pools. Oh damn, congrats! And yeah, here she's pretty damn good as well. Not to mention, she won't be part of the anniversary ticket, so you got really lucky there.
じゃあ、いい勉強になったね。
パラゴナさん、危険です。お下がりください。ここは私たちが。
Seeing that the Scarlet Knight has created an opening, Monica releases a mighty attack. However, the Astral Woman blocks the blow with one hand.
何それ？狙うなら首でしょ？力も全然足りないし。
あいにくだが、私は本命ではないのでな。
はあ？ 少しは本気出さなきゃダメかな。ここだ。
ああ、嫌だ嫌だ。力比べなど野蛮すぎてヘドが出る。我らは創造の民。この両手は価値を作り出すためのもの。
And yet, you just declared war on the Sky Realm again.
そう相場が決まっているでしょうに。
The Astral raises his hand and a primal beast appears.
聖少獣
They can create them out of thin air.
ここは私が
Sarunan VA, Sarunan remake. We'll see. Also, yeah, I guess the girl is Mikaboshi because we have Lyria's mom that was not unveiled yet, while one of the others was the Nerissa. We might still be missing one of the 7 stars though. And not gonna lie, I'm halfway glad that the 7 stars refer to 7 astrals rather than siete. The astral's primal beast closes in on Lyria, where she stands frozen in shock. As the captain realizes she's too far away, imagines the worst possible outcome.
大丈夫か
This guy. But why is he protecting Lyria if he's one of the astrals? A familiar figure jumps in and knocks away the primal beast's attack.
くそ、違う。俺は何して。
Proculus?
お前、さっきの。
Looking around at his surroundings, Proculus finally rests his gaze on the captain and Lyria.
そうか。じゃあお前が。はあ
こちらは片付けた。シーザ、アリア、次を出される前に星の民を。
言われなくても。も
らった。
The coordinated attacks from the White and Golden Knights find their marks on the Astral. And good job on targeting the weak one first. Having suffered a little damage, his body turns into light and flies off into the sky. Yeah, nah, he's coming back. They're making something so that the Astrals can come back. There's no way he just dies like this.
この4人の星の民が蘇った理由と何か関係があると見るべきか。
4人じゃねえ。蘇ったのは7つの区域の7人の監督者だ。
And yeah, that's also why Proculus was looking for Nerissa. It's just that apparently Nerissa got a mortal body now.
ナルグランデ区域の監督者、人獣の三日星。そしてワーヌングランデ区域の監督者。
How did Mikaboshi go from that into a little lolly?
あなたは
プロクルス。かつてエクセグランデ区域を監督した星の民さ。
And that is the astral that Caesar forgot to mention. Somehow. And if all 7 got resurrected, that means that Lilith is here too.
星の民、それもエクセグランデの。
Did you do Discord quest? We just watch a video in mute and get free Discord orbs for profile avatars. I'm afraid I didn't. I guess Discord is trying to do something to bring to get back into the graces of the users after a little bit of a controversy with
理由も目
the
的も何もわからね
face scans.
蘇ったということ以外はな。
あれは本当に三日星なのか？私たちの知っている姿と随分違うようだが。
どういうつながりかは知らねえが、あれは間違いなく全盛期の三日星だ。
ビューレイストさん、ミカちゃん。
So yeah, they were resurrected, but they were resurrected the way they were 500 years prior. Suddenly, someone pushes their way through the fleeing crowd and appears before the stage.
何が起きてるの？
ノリスケさん。
ノリスケ？
違う。いや、違わないけど。
Well, it's not wrong. After catching her breath, the girl elegantly brushes her hair over her shoulder.
ノリスケは偽名。私の本当の名前はオノスケリス。アウライグランデの星の民よ。お前がえ、その声、親切なエルーンのお姉さん？え、黄金の騎士なの
And now they're just embarrassed of having such a cringe astral as the pact bearer. Somehow, Proculus guy looks somewhat similar to Caesar, or vice
こういった
versa.
話は後にしてくれ。まずはこいつらを何とかしねえと。
I guess they kept the blondie theme for the White Knight.
ルリア、私の後ろへ。青少獣に干渉できない原因はわからないが、ひとまずは下がっていた方がいい。
And maybe this is because Lyria can use her powers on primal beasts that were created either recently or after Lyria was created. The way these astrals, who are supposed to be dead, are creating primal beasts maybe is different compared to what the astrals have been doing later. Though one of the astral has fallen, the three who remain are such formidable warriors that the Sky Dwellers must struggle to stay on even footing.
アッハーズ、ワーヌーングランデの星の民か。相手にとって不足はね
え。愚かにも星に挑むか。矮小なる空の民よ。
They did and won once already.
小さいって言ったか。言ったよな。後悔させてやるぜ。
その息やよし。矮小なれど、それでこそ我が修練の果てを受けるにふさわしい。
Hadzu?
汚れをたまう我が拳、とくと受けてみよ。
Oh, that's boss number 1.
歴見のはず、参る。
Puny Sky Dwellers, I will instill 1,000 plagues into your bodies. Are we sure about that? You got a thing for insulting people? Stop calling me puny. Average manlet. Your spirit is impressive, but it won't protect you from my diseases.
正気に沈むがいい。
こんなもん聞くかよ。
He's imbued his hands. We have to end this quickly. He throws poison around every time he hits someone. Let's put him down before this gets out of hand. HP lowered on every turn, up to 10 stacks. Can't be removed. How do you do Sonkyu again? If I remember correctly, like this. It's been a while.
俺はまだ
That packed with bigger punch, this could be bad. Paralyzing toxin. Oh shit, Walfrid got his sprite! I guess we now know what Walfrid is going to do after he gives up his role as the Blue Knight. Don't think you can kill this child while I still stand, Astral. Don't let your guard down, we still have to turn this around. To hit wind damage to a foe, supplement damage taken plus Dispel. When enhanced, hit number doubles. Come on, game load. But yeah, they gave Walfrid a sprite and skills. Walfrid is definitely becoming playable. Just be a bit careful with the song requests. Try and not get me demonetized if at all possible. Video game soundtracks should be fine, Ultra Kill and whatnot, but I'm not too sure about the Nightcrawl stuff. That's our chance, strike with me. As you get a CA.
磨き抜いた技を見せよ。先空時、敵将。
And he gets a CA as well. Yeah, Walfrid is definitely becoming playable. And is the game being capricious for anyone else? I feel like I can't really do much. Constantly getting stuck on loading. And that's it, we are at the first interlude already. And that was also not enough to unlock the first boss.
勝負あったな。これで。されど我が身、今だ。
Seizing on Deridara's moment of relaxation when the battle seemed decided, Azao attacks him with all the ferocity he can muster. Just as his fist is about to pierce the Harvin's stomach. Oh, would you look at that? Purple Knight is back. Dad? He's the Violet Knight song? What the hell?
そうならよかった。じゃあね。なあ僕今微妙な立場だからさ。
お前何言って。
Yeah, he's supposed to serve the Astral that you're fighting against. Disregarding Deridara's question completely, the Violet Knight jumps onto a nearby roof and disappears.
おい待て！待てよ！誰だな？何してんだ？もう遅い。
Azahu's deadly fist is already touching Deridara's hair on his path to his skull. This time, no one has any chance of blocking it. But just as the blow is about to connect, a noble voice rings out across the battlefield.
からくりバットを放ちるさと。
Oh, wait, who? Suddenly, a blazing hot beam of light appears across the battlefield and pierces Azao. As the other astrals head, Azao's body turns into light and flies off into the distance. The captain and company follow Proclus' gaze upward to see a long, thin object fall to the ground with a whizzing sound. Being close to where it landed, Fuki's examines it.
何これ刀と腕
An arm? Ripped Fallen Sword's hilt is in fact an entire arm. A figure that had sunglasses snuck up behind her casually grabs the sword and arm.
出力は上々。反動の相殺に腕をパージするのは有効ではあるのか。
And yet, just like we said before, these astrals are not dying.
しかし、連続使用を考えると、いや、そもそも鞘の冷却が。
どういうことだ。お前は先ほど確かに。
It's the Green Knight, right?
はいはいはい。ちょっと失礼するよ。シユ、腕を返しな。持って帰ったら承知しないよ。
Miss! What the hell?
いりませんよ。これくらいなら僕でも作れる。
Everyone watches in stunned silence as the woman reattaches her arm and sheaths her sword.
お前ら誰なんだ？
誰？なんだいなんだい、冷たいじゃないか。あれだけ尽くしてきたってのに。
I spent all that time, sir. Oh, Jesus, girl. What the fuck?
ってのはまあ、半分冗談さね。ただ、
What are the designers smoking? Holy shit. Yeah, next definitely next spark target. The one-eyed woman turns to the captain and reverently bows her head. Tavia, the Green Knight. Dude. Brown dust with a vengeance. This should not be transparent. Holy hell, what are the designers thinking? The transparent mesh, the mole. Someone got a raise and then decided to do even more than what got them that raise. Because the mole down here near the boob, holy hell, 10 out of 10.
遅くなっちまってすまないね。
Not to mention
からくりが壊されて嫌な予感がしたから。
Jesus Christ, the thigh. And you can even see the string of her underwear right up here. I guess rent is due, and the designers just pumped everything up to 11. What the hell is this? And also, it kind of makes sense now why she had an empty armor with a robot in it. Clearly, she lost her eye and her arm in a fight. She probably lost an ear as well, which is why she replaced that with something metal. And she decided, you know what? I'm not putting myself in danger anymore. I'm making an armor and I'm letting the armor fight. Now we've got to wonder which kind of power scaling percentage the armor had compared to her.
じゃあ私たちが知ってるオクタビアさんは。
からくりオクタビアちゃん3号さね。反自立型のからくりで、時々は私自身が動かしてたんだ。
Clockwork Octavia number 3. This is Iron Man. This is, well, Iron Woman.
いい出来だったんだけどね。惜しい子をなくしたよ。
となると、その星の民は
シーユアマトグランデの星の民です。
Give me a second, I need to go back and find these sprites to download.
じゃあ、先ほど我々が倒したのは一体。
それより、どうせ腕をパージするなら、ビームの出力はもう 2,3 段階上げませんか？
おっと。
And apparently they can tell that she was holding back.
状況を教えてくれるかい
With 2 of the original 4 attackers having been defeated, Bielist and Mikaboshi cautiously create distance between themselves and their opponents. Keeping their eyes on them, the others explain what had happened to the newly arrived pair.
それで俺がエクセグランデ空域の星の民なんだが。
And we're still an astral short, mind you.
ん？そりゃ何かの冗談かい？
冗談って、プロクルスはエクセグランデの。あれ、待って、誰だっけ、プロクルスって。どうして私？
And there is something messing around with their memories. Octavia places her hand on her sword and she backs away from Proculus, putting herself in between him and the rest of the group.
私はあんたを見たことがない。7人の星の民は全員顔を知ってるんだけどね。
And hold on a second, because we saw something pop up for a split second.
肖像画か何かが残っていたのか
？This was overlaid on top of Nerissa, but it's just a random splotch of purple. Can't really make out anything in it. Outside of maybe this little shape right here, which looks like a U. Curious. Really, really curious.
いいや、自分で見たのさ。空域を越えた会議の時なんかにね。何人かは直接話もしてる。
ちょっと待て。じゃあ
Over 500 years old?
アマトグランデはどうにも情報が少なかったんだが。まさか空の民でありながら500年も生きる者がいるとはな。
And she's a hag, not just a hag, an ultra hag. Still, 500 years old Erune, how does that happen?
正しくは2000年さね。私が初代の緑の騎士だからね。
2000? Wait, she's as old as Cagliostro. Hold on. What are the implications here? Either she's robotic, or she's half robotic and this arm is not the extent of it. Or she's found some other way to get an elixir of eternal life, cause 2000-year-old Erune hag. Holy.
ただ、あちこちガタは来てる。内臓も手足も、もうほとんどからくりに変えちまったさ。
Okay, yeah. Limbs and organs have almost all been replaced with clockwork, so she is a robot herself. Oh, and there's a little scar here too, which I didn't notice before. I get the feeling like Have you guys seen the Robin Williams movie, Bicentenary Man? A steady joke, night post, sleep time. Hey, enjoyer, good night. Again, thanks for coming by. Robomi 3.0.
言い伝えや情報ではなく直接見た記憶。ましてや空の民が相手じゃ生涯核でも改ざんできなかったが。
話を戻そう。それであんたは誰なんだい？エクセグランデ空域の星の民はもっと生っ白い子だったはずだよ。
あいつをそんな風に言っていいのは俺だけだ。お前らには何も言う資格はねえ。
Don't talk about him like that. So even he admits he's not the original one. With no regard for the captain's worried voice, Proclus turns his back on the group.
悪いな、団長。
おい貴様、待て!
You can't just declare war and leave. Ignoring Alaya as well, he walks up to Beerist and Mikaboshi. The three of them then abruptly disappear, as if turning into smoke. Though the situation is resolved for now, there remains countless mysteries surrounding it. To be continued. On March 4th. Okay, that was weird. That was really freaking weird. Zhao the Plague Fest as the first boss. And now, since the Blue Wheel should give us a little bit of a spoiler for part 2. From beyond the sky, the star descended. Across a canvas of blue, lines of miasma were drawn, and the stars that shone within the seven skies each took a knight into their service. Yet the sky too bore its cause. A righteous wish gives birth to a righteous conflict. With the rise of the great hero, the sky finally raises his banner of rebellion. This would have come to be known as the war. And yeah, this is the seventh that we didn't see, Lyria's quote-unquote mom. A full projection of the astral god faces you. Looks like a bit of a fucked up Bahamut. That's the face, that's Bahamut's mouth. The horns, the wings pointed down. Event exclusive. Oh, there it is. Event exclusive character. No. Who said this was Virn? This is not Virn. Look at the leg. Look at the tiny little leg down here. This is Lyria. This is an SSR Lyria summoning Bahamut. Astral power to reach further heights can be used to raise a certain weapon awakening level and unlock a character uncapped mastery bonuses. Interlude 2 to obtain one. And of course, sand. I think this boss is the Other Worlders. Since last MQ they got the Omnipotent from MC. They can't be, because during the main story quest we actually got rid of the Other Worlders. Our wish to Rel and to the Omnipotent itself was to erase the existence of the Other World and the Other Worlders. So it can't really be them. Oh, and of course, resurrect everyone who got killed by the Other Worlders. So it can't be them. Fallen projection of the astral god. But it can't even be Australia. I don't see anything in the silhouette that might hint at there being any humanoid figure in here. If you want my prediction, Lyria's mom is going to be a little bit disappointed with the fact that we managed to kill Australia, and she's going to do her best in order to resummon her or summon Bahamut in order to get rid of us, which is where this fallen projection of the astral god comes into play. And finally, after 12 years, we get what Makes the Sky Blue was supposed to be. A story event in which Lyria reached her full potential and actually started pawning S's left and right. I can't wait for this. I really can't wait for this. We erased the other worlders, but their influence is still present, since just now they forgot Proculus. I don't think that's the case, or at least I don't think that's the other worlds. I think that's something that the guy who was collecting astral remains on the field did through the little item they were using. The person who forgot Proculus was Nerissa, and again, Nerissa didn't exactly forget Proculus. The Proculus she remembered was different than the Proculus that was on stage right now. So that's either a successor or someone who was stealing Proculus's identity in order to parade as one of the 7 astrals. The reason why, though, a little bit still in the air. But imagine you're an astral, you fight in the war, you die, then you get resurrected. I guess you've got a little bit of animosity, and you're going to try and get the war right back on track, which is what they're doing right now. 2,000-year-old Octavia also says otherwise about Proculus. Yeah, she says that Proculus is not him. That's not the Proculus that she remembers. And the same goes for the others. And I use script.
おっと、今はそれどころじゃないだろ。状況を
I
教え
still
てくれ
can't
るかい？
believe that they're releasing this sort of design. Like, holy hell. They always kind of got away with these skin-tight suits. Other characters have them. Mostly the Archangels have similar skin-tight suits, but they're not transparent. Again, I have no idea what the designers are smoking with this transparent clothing, but again, I guess they want to try and get more Gooners into Granblue. What we saw here... Yeah, right here. Where was... It was not Octavia. It's her, Onoscalis. Proculus was Exegrandes.
プロクルスはエクセグランデの。え、あれ、待って。誰だっけ、プロクルスって。
So more than just the other worlders, this is probably just Proculus messing around with people's memories in order to make them think that he was at the head of this group of astrals. Man, please, I'm trying my best to behave here. When your graphic designers go way overboard. And yeah, she's the first one to not recognize Proculus as one of the fellow astrals
私はあんたを
of her
見たこ
group.
とがない。7人の星の民は全員顔を知ってるんだけどね。
Curious. Very, very curious. It's a decent setup. Sadly, we know very little. We can guess very little about what's going to be going on later. All we know is that they're coming back. We have to meet Lyria's mom in order to have a better idea of their plans. Because them coming back just to declare war on this sky realm when it's only 7 of them and they have no connection to the astral realm in order to bring more astrals into this sky realm feels like a mission that's bound to fail from the start. And astrals should be smarter than to try and get into a suicide mission, especially when they know that it's 500 years after the war and they know that they lost the war with greater numbers and better equipment. So even just them jumping straight onto the captain, Lisha, and everyone else like this feels like there's no real plan behind them. And for astrals, that just can't be. So, what to expect? We said Walfried definitely becoming playable, already has a sprite and everything. SSR Lyria from part 2. I do wonder what they're going to do with her, especially element-wise. If she's actually going to be the first multi-element character in the game, if they're bringing multi-elements back. Like 6 elements, rather than just dual elements like some of the older characters. Imagine Octavia meeting Keg and going, "Since when you're a girl?" Now, I think that's fairly unlikely. Like, before inventing alchemy, Cagliostro was just a sickly little boy locked in some room. Octavia might have an inkling of an idea who Cagliostro became after she got famous for inventing alchemy, but before that, very unlikely. Kind of curious that she's 2000 years old too, though. Makes you wonder where all this technology was 2000 years prior. Not to mention that, you know, the Green Knight looks very samurai-ish. I want to know more about Octavia. I want to know where she comes from, which island, but I guess I have to reread the event because I'm sure she says it. And if she's related to other Japanese-inspired people like Seville Barra and whatnot, in order to give her the samurai-styled armor.
顔を知っているというのは？
いいや、自分で見たのさ。空域を越えた会議の時なんかにね。
But she joins the playable when list instantly, alongside Nerissa. This girl failure has to be playable eventually. Alright then, this was a little bit short for an event, roughly an hour and a half, 2 hours. We also got stopped more than a few times. And I need to figure out what to grind for, because I don't really have a proper plan for Granblue. Haven't had one in a while. Most of my grids here are like 2 years old. Haven't done much progression since. So I need to start grinding from scratch, basically. Or at least get half of an idea of where to start in order to try and get back into the saddle. Another thing I'm missing is the main story quest. There were new characters in this event that I haven't met yet. I've got my new chapters back down here. But I'm afraid that's going to have to wait for tomorrow. I've got a little bit of catching up to do. What's good? Hey Invictus, welcome, how have things been going? Song request is on, it is, but I'm about to log off. 12th anniversary started really, really damn strong. But we're going to have to wait for March 4 for part 2 in order to get a better idea of where they're going to go with this event. Until then though, again, got the main story quest to do, which hopefully tomorrow. So I guess I'll see you guys around then. As always, thanks a lot for coming by and keeping me company while reading through the main story quest. And see us soon. Ciao!